Most people assume that if you do the right things with money, it should start to feel right too. You earn more, you budget, you save, you avoid obvious mistakes. And yet, something still feels off. There's a quiet discomfort that never really goes away. A sense that you're doing everything correctly on paper, but emotionally, it doesn't add up. Today, we're going to talk about why doing everything right with money can still feel wrong, and why this experience is far more common than people admit. Because this isn't a motivation problem. And it's not a discipline problem. It's a systems problem. Most financial advice focuses on behavior. Spend less, save more, invest consistently. And while those behaviors matter, they don't explain why so many responsible, thoughtful people still feel uneasy about their finances. The issue isn't that you're doing the wrong things. It's that the structure you're operating inside creates constant tension. Let's start with the first reason this happens. When you do everything right, you're usually optimizing for efficiency, not stability. Efficiency sounds smart. It feels responsible. You try to make every dollar work harder. You keep balances lean. You minimize waste. But efficient systems are fragile. They work well when everything goes according to plan. They fall apart emotionally when life doesn't. A small unexpected expense suddenly feels threatening. A dip in income creates outsized stress. Even good financial news doesn't bring relief, because the margin for error is thin. So even though you're technically doing well, your nervous system doesn't feel safe. That's because stability isn't created by doing things correctly. It's created by having enough slack in the system to absorb reality. Most people are taught to eliminate slack. Very few are taught to protect it. The second reason doing everything right still feels wrong is that progress changes your reference point. When you were earning less, your expectations were lower. Your definition of enough was simpler. As you improve your finances, the bar quietly moves. Your expenses rise. Your standards rise. Your sense of what's normal rises. This isn't lifestyle creep in the obvious sense of luxury spending. It's more subtle than that. It's upgrading stability expectations. It's expecting fewer mistakes, fewer disruptions, more control. So even as your financial situation improves, your mental baseline shifts just fast enough to cancel out the emotional benefit. You don't feel proud. You feel behind, just at a higher level. This creates a strange loop where success never registers as success. And most people assume this means they need to push harder. Which brings us to the third issue. Doing everything right often means constantly monitoring your money. Tracking, adjusting, optimizing, reevaluating. At first, this feels empowering. But over time, it creates mental fatigue. You're always aware of trade-offs, always aware of opportunity cost, always aware of what could go wrong. Your finances become a background task that never fully turns off. And the mind interprets constant monitoring as unresolved risk. Even when nothing is wrong, your attention keeps checking for danger. This is why many people feel more anxious as they become more financially competent. They know too much to relax, but not enough to feel truly insulated. The problem isn't knowledge, it's exposure. A system that requires constant awareness doesn't feel stable, it feels demanding. The fourth reason everything feels wrong is that most financial systems are built for growth, not peace. Growth-focused systems reward constant improvement, frequent adjustments, staying alert. Peace-focused systems reward predictability, buffers, boring consistency. Most advice assumes growth is the goal. But many people secretly want calm. They want to stop thinking about money all the time. They want fewer decisions, not more. They want reliability over optimization. When you follow growth-oriented advice while craving peace, you end up conflicted. You look successful externally, but internally, you're tired. This disconnect makes people feel ungrateful or broken. They wonder why they can't just appreciate what they've built. But the issue isn't appreciation, it's alignment. Your system is optimized for the wrong outcome. And finally, there's a deeper reason doing everything right still feels wrong. Most financial advice ignores emotional load. It treats money as a math problem, but money is also responsibility, uncertainty, identity, fear of regression. When your system doesn't account for emotional capacity, it quietly drains you. You may be able to manage it now, but you feel the cost. That's why weekends don't fully relax you. Why good months don't eliminate anxiety. Why success doesn't feel secure. The system works, but it demands constant attention. So what's the alternative? The alternative isn't doing less. It's designing for stability instead of correctness. Stable systems include buffers on purpose. Tolerate inefficiency. Reduce monitoring. Prioritize calm over performance. They don't try to extract maximum value from every dollar. They aim to reduce the number of things that can go wrong. They accept slower progress in exchange for peace. And here's the important part. This doesn't mean you stop being responsible. It means you stop confusing responsibility with pressure. A system that feels right isn't one where nothing ever goes wrong. It's one where things can go wrong without everything feeling threatened. That's the shift most people never make. They keep refining tactics instead of redesigning structure. So if you're doing everything right and it still feels wrong, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means your system is asking more from you than it needs to. And the goal of money isn't to be impressive. It's to be supportive. And here's the most important thing to remember. If you're doing everything right and it still feels wrong, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means your system may be asking more from you than it needs to. The goal of money isn't to impress. It's to support your life quietly, consistently, and without constant tension. If this way of thinking about money resonates with you, this channel is about building exactly that: calm, durable money systems that work in real life, not just on paper. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. And if you found this helpful, watching the next video in the series will take this idea one step further. In the next video, we'll talk about why financial stability itself often feels fragile, even when the numbers look fine, and how to design systems that feel steady instead of tense.